afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting and everything amazing Propagandacast. I'm your host, Imperial Dane, Master Propaganda, heroes like defender of the fatherland, off here to 1 vs 1, own Kholodny Ferma. In the west, it's VonIvan fighting for the Oberkommandist, Germany, Deutschland. Rolling out here with the 1st Panzer Division, with Overwatch, Special Operations, and Fortifications, Triple Infantry versus these. It is Ashablois. At least that's one of the many names this character goes under here with the Soviet Union. Straight Armoured Assault here, the Red Army. Rolling out here with the glorious 7th Mechanized Corps, and we got there, of course, Armoured Assault with double mine and sniper bullets there for VonIvan straight to Fortifications. So Fortifications versus Armoured Assault, an interesting choice there. We got double forces there for VonIvan, standard stuff. Penal Troopers start with double units, also standard stuff there. No surprises here as of such. Of course, Armoured Assault means that Ashablois here will be able to sort of listen into what VonIvan is doing, get some intelligence that way, having a clear idea what VonIvan is doing. That way, you know, can better strategically make moves around what VonIvan is doing. So that opens up there for some options. Plus, of course, will inform Ashablois of any mines laid down by VonIvan, since they're also counted in there. So that's a little additional detail there. As for VonIvan, I mean, well, obviously also got like the big tanks in the late game, T-35, self-repair and air support, very nice. As for VonIvan, I mean, you got the big guns, you got 3 S mines, machine gun bunkers, Flak Emplacements, you go for those, can be handy. And then you got the big one, Sooner Artillery, which after being repeatedly buffed, at least buffed, is, you know, kind of useful now. The right place can actually be quite disruptive for your opponent. Of course, at 300 munitions, it is quite expensive, but you actually, you know, have a chance of actually doing something. More focus on the way there for VonIvan. Scout cars start there from Ashablois, standard stuff. And again, Scout cars with the Oberkommandos can be quite effective, since the Oberkommandos focus tend to be quite weak to them. So, with some good units inside, the Scout can do some heavy damage to your German opponents that way. So we'll have to, of course, see how VonIvan reacts to that, and certainly overall what his plan is with his doctrine, S-mines, bunkers. I mean, Angard is known to going for this for S-mines almost exclusively. Of course, you got the pack for it if it comes down to it, or the howitzer. But this one tends to see less usage. I mean, most players, even after the Flak Emplacements got buffed, still don't use it. I mean, it's not bad, but, you know, it's still not amazing either. Scout car, they're going for it. Sturmpani falls in a pretty bad spot. He goes the Penal Troopers inside the Scout car, and then, of course, the Scout car's 5th car. Then we can see the Sturmpani is taking heavy damage here. Follows those taking some light damage here. Focusing down the Scout car, the Sturmpanis can do most damage to it, but the thing is, with only one Sturmpani squad, you usually do not have enough firepower. Like, if you want Sturmpani to take out an M3-1, you actually need 2 squads. And that can then work if the opponent particularly doesn't really know what's going on before it's too late. In the South Engineer standing right, we got a Kholodny Ferma for VonIvan in the obvious response here to the M3A1. More Penal Troopers meanwhile there for Ashablois. Following up, they lay down some sandbags here by the munitions, and the South Engineers still waiting for engineers to arrive to at least try and help them. Heading the car point there. Right next to it, but not quite. That is damn awkward. Penal Troopers there moving out. There we go, getting onto the point. Filter the slow losing out to the double engineer squads. 7 men there with their mercenary guns versus the filters with their car 90 gears. They're adding in flamethrowers. That's something that makes things awkward here for VonIvan's filter gunners. They go around it. Okay, and of course, Ashablois here will be most aware of the arrival of the Kholodny Ferma, unless, you know, he or she didn't pay attention. Scout car there rolling back, going here for the munitions point there, having already disrupted the fuel flow there. No point staying around there in a position you can't defend anyways particularly well. Nothing further happening in the base. Yes, for VonIvan, and not much happening either. He can take up soon, and of course so can Asher. Well, Ashablois can't quite, but might go for some medics. There we go, laying down mines here on the munitions point, using the engineers, of course. Slight advantage there with the bullets there to slightly make it A, faster and slightly cheaper. Up here, folks, there's the Penal Trooper, the Kholodny from the out Scout car that being hauled back for repairs. For now, they're going for the Mechanized Regiment headquarters, most likely. He could go for the Battle Group headquarters, but again, going by the usual Oberkommandist meta, the Mechanized Regiment seems a lot more likely here for VonIvan. Folks, the rest of the Penal Troops going in for the missions point or the field point as well. And the South Engineers fixing up the Scout car. They could both do this reinforcement though quite drastically. 3rd squad arriving to probably back up the ones already here fighting. Sturmpani taking minor losses. Folks, they're arriving there to further tension around. Of course, with the 2nd Penal Troops arriving, this situation could very likely turn against VonIvan. There you go, the incendiary grenade right into the piece of cover there, burning all of Ashablois' forces. and forcing a route there. Got the fuel point there, rendered neutral on the south. If Fanam's also made good advances out here. But having hit a mine, there's been some casualties. Scout covering northwards, mechanized regiment there, going out for VonIvan, charging into the penal troops. They're across open ground. There we go. VonIvan realizes that's a pretty bad idea and immediately hits retreat button. And we got Molotovs out. I think that was a misclick then. Ashablois simply didn't realize it was too late. Which is quite unfortunate, but there you go. These things can happen because, as you might have noticed, Ashablois does have absolutely, well, no conscripts. So that was a definite misclick. Obviously not the world's biggest one. It's just 80 manpower and fuel, so it's not something that's going to like sink Ashablois' economy, like, so, you know, building the wrong building again or something like that. But, you know, it's going to feel a bit bad. Empty foot on the way there for VonIvan to help deal with the penal troopers, since that's going to make it much easier than we should have fought efficiently. Scout covering south, that's going to deal there with VonIvan's forces. We've got Bartwar here by the centre victory point. Okay, never sneaking about. Still got both fuel points in control, which is actually pretty big there for Ashablois. Allows for, well, obviously a lot of fuel, and that way to fast take up and, you know, begin pushing up bigger threats here as VonIvan. Knowing, of course, that Ashablois should be very much aware of a fast Lux as a possibility. At the same time, only really got a few anti-tank rifles to stop such a possibility, so needs to either take out fast or begin preparing harder with anti-tank rifles. Because right now with just 2 anti-tank rifles, I mean, the Lux could very quickly tear through most of Ashablois' forces. Skirmishing here and there, Sturmpanzer seeing casualties from the Strafniki. Mines being laid down here and there. Good work. 130 versus 8, and there we go. Looks halfway done there for VonIvan and the 1st Panzer Division. We had a lot of skirmishing up on the northern fuel point. Engineers by my Kholodny effort, but I quickly routed here by the sheer presence of VonIvan's infantry. In the south, grabbing the fuel point there, munitions point, not the fuel point. Back here, nothing further going on there for Ashablois. Engineers retreating. Pantherfast in the scout car. Got the northern fuel point back again. In the south there we got penal troopers versus the Flak Grenadiers, but of course with anti-tank rifles and assault rifles on the Flak Grenadiers. The situation is very well being in hand for VonIvan, unless a bit of bad luck they have. Oh, he doesn't pay attention, allowing the Flak to take extra hits from the penal, in which case that's obviously going to give the penals their big advantage versus VonIvan's Flak Grenadiers. He pops the incendiary grenade, but I mean the odds of him winning this engagement are apparently working out there. That's going to be pretty close here. There he ends up with Ashablois still winning that one. The VonIvan was close to winning, but in the end, yeah, he actually just, you know, paid attention. But that can happen still. Ashablois here's got a massive resource lead, both munitions point, both fuel points, most of the map here. Fast tech can push out T7 to rapidly also go for the Eastern 6 instead, if that is what is desired. Back here, troops reinforcing. And just needs to press a button, and there you go. T7 light tank here to deal with the Lux, and of course any German infantry that, you know, is around for VonIvan as well. Meanwhile, though, VonIvan here's going to put as much pressure as he can on Ashablois here with his Lux charging into Ashablois' base, hammering away at the infantry with the autocannon, threatening to wipe it out. Or at least give it a really bad time. Obviously, this is also diversion, allowing VonIvan to just pressure ahead across the rest of the map, while the Lux keeps Ashablois focused on the base. So there's essentially like a double purpose to this Lux attacking the base. Again, it, you know, hits where Ashablois is most, you know, vulnerable, but at the same time draws all of Ashablois' attention there. In most cases, anyway. So, I mean, some players will be able to, you know, manage this and still grab most of the map, but as you can see there, it's pretty much just kept Ashablois entirely inside the base as VonIvan just swoops forwards. T7 light tank out here for Ashablois. That's obviously going to give the Lux a bit of a harder time. Troops moving ahead as well. Folks are setting out. Grabbing the northern fuel point back. A few casualties there happening as the T-70 rapidly pursues. Sorry about that. Just had to check on something. to ensure the cat wasn't getting into any trouble. We got troops pushing ahead against the forces by the munitions point here. Large unit push to the forces squad's not going to hold up very well for much longer. Up north here, MU-54 covering the corner there against any of Ashablois advances. But that's about it. Mine's going up here, grabbing the southern munitions point. Back at base, nothing further going for VonIvan. Could go for the Puma, could try and take up for the Schwerpunkt headquarters, or go for the battle group headquarters. Looks like catching them use a pretty bad spot and routing them quite effectively. Seizing the northern victory point, we got the T-7 against the MG-34 here. Okay, from the Medusi Puma here on the way for VonIvan. Looks heading southwards. Engineers there in a pretty advantageous spot here for the looks, though. There's the detail of the mine, which VonIvan just basically jumped straight into. From the northern victory point here. Bit of skirmishing here and there. Now the players so far at least focusing at any point. That's good to see. And Ashablois here going for support, coming up, bringing up some support items versus for now. In which case, you know, field guns and maxims would be quite nice. And maybe also bring up a mortar for some artillery support. Almost got the looks here, but like Henry prevents the T-7 pursuing the penal troops can't ease across here. But with the Phenomenon bringing in infantry to basically screen the retreat here of it. We got the Puma moving in, need to get the T-70 out of there fast. And I imagine that will be impressed here upon Ashablois as soon as the Puma gets within line of sight. T-10 rolling back here. Big push here by VonIvan, this time without any mines to catch up his stuff. Still, though, he should perhaps be a bit aware there might have been altered mines here, but he's pretty confident there's none, or at least he's pretty confident that he can weather any potential problems from hitting a mine. This 3 field gun away there for Ashablois is going to be useful as the Puma and, you know, also the looks plus any other armor. Charging into the base here, but needs to be careful not to extend here versus Ashablois. It would be a bit of a shame to lose the Puma that fast as required. Now it's for now it's time though to rather hit Ashablois' resource, going for the cover point and the fuel point at the same time. Nice play there. This is 3 on the way there, being fixed up. Mine's up here by the tree on the corner. Bat spot here by Puma from VonIvan. Mine goes off somewhere. Like over in the centre. And while VonIvan does some mine was about, they're a bit preoccupied with other things. There we go, T-70 good to go there for Ashablois. Engineers right here with the Puma. We'll have to see what Ashablois is planning next. I mean, if we see another field gun, that would obviously indicate it's going to be an IS-2 stall here versus VonIvan. If you obviously see any other things that could be an indicator, might push for the T-55. Trying to get one fast out here versus VonIvan could prove to be quite effective. T-70 going for the looks, but still there's the Puma to worry about because Ken was got behind the backwards, they're about to get wiped out. Looks like VonIvan lost sight of things. He did get the T-70, but I don't think it was necessary with the folks going to die to achieve that one. Still, that's going to help VonIvan's infantry quite a bit. Plus the looks. Because that means there's one less thing to deal with it. In the south, though, VonIvan's still digging in nicely. Ashablois needs to regain control of that pretty fast. Here we got the looks versus the engineers doing some heavy damage. Got the penalty to win them and the tank robs going to flank here, but we got the infantry coming up nicely by VonIvan. Nice work there, very nice. Strafnicki there routed. In the south, the engineers again laying down mines here. Nice consistent mining by Ashablois. I might want to counter the ones that don't get finished. In particular, this one is, and that's just, 30 minutes is going to get wasted. Another T-70 here, though, for Ashablois, clearly feeling the pressure and the need for another T-70 versus VonIvan. Decides to make that call, and particularly at the 40-minute mark, it's kind of risky to call in another T-70, but clearly it feels like there is no other solution but to go for another T-70. So there we are. Penal troops sitting out here like Kholodny Ferma in the centre, going under fire from that. Second T-70 arriving, troops in reinforcing. Penal troops engineers arriving, there you go, like Kholodny Ferma routed. Defensive position in the south with infantry and machine guns to make it hard here for Ashablois without T-70 active push through. That or mortars, but again, so far, no sign of mortars here by Ashablois versus VonIvan. No sign of artillery. Penal troops versus the Fultz Grenadiers. But right now, VonIvan basically got most of the map secured. Field bombardment Almost got the filters here, missed opportunity. On the other hand, it does get the machine gun wiped out and can secure it. That's definitely a bigger one there for Ashablois. Definitely a bit of a loss there for VonIvan. Oh! Could even see another one here against him. No! They get away! Close one there though for VonIvan. Very close one. Still, losing the MD-34 is going to hurt just a bit. It should make it easier for Ashablois to defend versus VonIvan's infantry. And what is this? We got a flak emplacement up in the north. Good God. Fascinating. So it helps to defend the northern victory point area there. I mean, certainly versus infantry is going to be quite effective, though of course if the T-70 arrives it's going to be, well, less effective. Still a bold move. We'll have to see how that one pans out. MD-40 engineers up north, so he's brought up the second one. We got still running down here. Could we see another MD-34 going down for VonIvan? Likely not. Unless VonIvan gets supremely unlucky, but in this case, the fortune has not entirely abandoned him. Troops are healing and forcing, securing territory. VonIvan moving ahead. No sign of take-up there for VonIvan yet, and nothing further there from Ashablois, in particular after losing that second T-70. Well, having to get that second T-70, not losing it. VonIvan they're going for a truck. Will it be the battle group headquarters? Will it be mechanized or Schwerpanzer quarters? Well, considering VonIvan has gone for fortifications and can't rely on a command Panther calling, Schwerpanzer quarters seems a lot more likely. And there's always room to be surprised. Truck salvage, flak emplacement they're covering up. Engineers will soon have a taste of that if they're not careful. The 2 cm flak was rather used a lot of the place. In fact, a fun bit there is in sort of the early stages of the war. It was actually in the sort of German intervention described as a heavy machine gun. It's hard to say there's an attempt at deception or there's some other purpose to it. Mine's up there. But sort of as the war progressed, they were obviously less effective against aircraft. They got more armoured, so it was sort of shifted towards, well, just shooting an infantry and light vehicles. Fun fact there. Lots of mines there from VonIvan, the Sturmine. Troops are healing and forcing, setting up. Mechanized regiment, Schwerpanzer quarters there for VonIvan, so could go for Obersalden. Panzers are obviously. Well, obviously he's going to go for the Panzer for the Panther, though versus Armoured Assault, the Panther would likely be a good choice, especially if Ashablois he goes for the IS-2, but even as the T-30-35, Panthers are much better choice than the Panther 4. T-70 they're going for it, flag in place there, but a bit of a flaw here in the plan since, yeah, it could set off the mine. I mean, obviously it's sort of driven into the mine, set it off, and in which case the flag in place would actually maybe taken out. They actually almost took out the looks there, so it certainly shows that the flag emplacement can be useful. Unit wiped out here for VonIvan, bit of loss there, bit of a win there obviously for Ashablois. Slowly turn this around again, but it's happening in a very slow pace, and of course there's the potential of getting hit by really big tanks. Films they need to retreat before they wiped up the Fox committees here. Still, the flank emplacement is holding up here. That's very nice back here, troops in reinforcing. Also brought up a maximum, meaning we got 2 machine guns now here for Ashablois versus VonIvan's 1. And of course the flak emplacement. The Germans actually had a wide variety of flak guns, and while there's certainly some of the more iconic ones, like the 2 cm flak and the flak feeling, and you've also got the flak 8, there was sort of many other sort of intermediate versions that maybe don't get as much talk about. Like you had a 50mm flak gun as well that really saw limited usage. Partly I think the issue was recall, but still saw usage until the end of the war here and there. You had stuff like an improved version of the Flak 88, which only saw usage within the German borders because there's much higher maintenance requirements, so it just kept it close there. And you had like much bigger flaks, like the 10.5cm flak. I think there's some bigger than that. So some fun facts there. But there you go on the south front of the Punions. We've got the T-70 in as well. Veterans 1 full kills, very good. But could have moved to the Punions was here. In the north, bigger push here. We've got smoke screens off here. By the looks of it. I'm not entirely sure who popped the smoke. I've worked to hazard a guess over to the Puma, since that's the only thing that can deploy smoke. I mean, Ashablois hasn't gone for any mortars, and VonIvan hasn't gone for any light infantry guns. I mean, the Puma's pretty much the only source of smoke here. Trying to destroy here the Flak Emplacements. It's only drawing a lot of fire, even forcing Ashablois here to use barrage to take it out. So, I mean, it's not half bad in its way, I guess. But there you go, Flak Emplacement collapses. VonIvan abandons the north for now. Might go instead for the centre and the cutoff point there. We've got the infantry fall behind the wreckage of a tank. Over here, reinforcement. Ashablois is not taking up. Could be that actually he is planning for a IS-2 stall now. Only got one field gun, so maybe not. But again, you don't always see them going for double field guns or double tanks and trying to store, for a big heavy tank, but it tends to be sort of say the common move. We'll have to see what ends up with. We will have to see. The North troops being forced there, lying down mines as well to help their, fought any counterattacks there with VonIvan. In the south, Luke's holding up here. Any push there from Ashablois. We got 447 to 251 in terms of victory points. Field gun Mabani there. Akadnefer routed. Maximum doing when it can. And we got orbital at 90 for VonIvan. Very nice. Though without machine guns. Again, sorry about Simpson. They go caught here between the Pumas and the T-70. I suspect that's going to be immediate retreat here. I mean, even the Puma arrives, it's a bit exposed there for them, but looks like VonIvan's still going to try it. He is still going to make the attempt. Going here for the T-70, sending out weakness here, an opportunity. He misses. What rotten luck. But he's still going to try and make a shot here for the smoke and hope. No, just pull away. Probably the best here. In the south slow advance here by VonIvan as well, pressuring near Ashablois' flanks, but he's losing the fuel point here to the Russians, to the Soviets. Hitting the northern victory point here, grabbing the fuel point there, almost got it under control. Rushing in the Puma to try and at least defend it somehow. Back here, reinforcement. Pumas the penal troopers, Orbital adding an LMG 34. Almost got the southern munitions. Over here in reinforcement. And we can see sort of Ashablois not making any bigger pushes at the moment, just some light movement here and there. Trying to secure the victory point, stabilise that way. As it's quite clear now that Ashablois is stalling for the IS-2, so doesn't want to, commit to big attacks that could, prevent Ashablois there from getting the IS-2 out fast enough. T-70 is the full on the south field and ring up, the Pumas coming in as well there, so that seems to be a slightly bigger assault here, at least willing to push there. Almost wiping out the penalty was there with the T-70. Need to be careful about that. But going for the looks here. There we go. VonIvan is calling in the Panther, the Panzerkampfwagen 5. Pride of the Vaterland. IS-2 is very close here for Ashablois. A few more moments, then call it in. I'll be able to call in roughly at the same time as the Panther hits the field. Just a bit more to go. Puma being fixed up. Looks into repairs. Truck on the way there for VonIvan, so that's going to be the Battle Group headquarters about healing. It might also, of course, set up for King Tiger in the long run. Back here, healing enforcement. Another Maxim, but no additional field guns. Basically, betting everything on the IS-2 here. That could maybe prove fortuity for VonIvan versus Ashablois. And there you go. IS-2 ready to hit. Just needs to press the button, and there you go. Joseph Stalin 2 check out, and that's going to be a bit of a challenge then for VonIvan. Though obviously the Panthers going to make sure that the Ashablois just can't, drive the IS-2 wherever desired. Field of maximum carry in the centre here, up north, bit of skirmishing in between the Orbital and the Penal Troopers. The Penal Troopers seem to be losing out on that one. Then again, the Orbital and next recover might just give the Penal Troopers the advantage they need. No penal machine for the IS-2. Missions are going elsewhere here for Ashablois. Puma northwards, range to the anti-tank penal troopers. The result is obviously not particularly pretty here for the Puma, and particularly actually hits the IS-2, which is starting to look a bit likely. Almost got it here, fielding joining in, and there you go. The Puma goes down, bit of a blow there to VonIvan, and the German army and the South Panthers moving forward here, backing up with force assault here on Ashablois' southern positions. Certainly lacking. Oh, anti-tank rifles, and they're going to be timed just in time to... Oh, doesn't have the munitions to pop the anti-tank satchel charge here versus the Panther. Although that would have been perfect. Otherwise, though, I guess VonIvan got lucky. He didn't get punished there for just trying the Panther up that close. Launching assault in the Shrap Punch quarters with the eyes to the field gun and the anti-tank peel troopers that pushes them away there to cover the flank against the Panther. Shrap Punch quarters is slowly approaching half health already here, but there you go, forced to deal with the sudden counter-attack here by VonIvan, already diverting the Panther for another path here to avoid just getting shot to bits by the field gun. Still getting a bit dicey there with the Shrap Punch quarters. Be a bit of blow there to VonIvan to lose it now. I mean, no more orbs, but also, it would very much force him onto the path for King Tiger. It's like planning it at some point. I mean, there's still the option. If he has the Shrap Punch, of course, he's still to decide. Like, he could just go for more Panthers or Panther Force, depending on what he needs. But if he loses it, it rather dramatically lowers his options. Panther there hanging back. Healing reinforcement repairs there for Ashablois back at base. Victory points watch at 392 versus 200. Holding on for now. Holding on. Grabbing the northern victory point here. Troops reinforcing fix on the ice 2. And we got another field gun there for Ashablois here to deal with VonIvan's Panzerwaffe. MD-35 can come in the centre. Medics on the way to VonIvan. Very nice, very nice. Again, I think he's for the field from the centre. Field gun fires away with high explosive shells. Decent hit then like Kholodny with the crew, but nothing really successful. VonIvan should probably consider either a big push into the south and on the north. He could also launch a diversion attack on the centre to just keep Ashablois' attention focused, and then makes a push elsewhere. But it definitely should be making a main push, I think, through the centre, not without light infantry gun to throw down smoke screens versus Ashablois' weapons. I still heading northwards here though. Ashablois clearly wants to grab that point, at the same time of course defending the other 2 points, so that way ensure that that army does not lose any more victory points, and that Ashablois of course does not get shifted over to Gulag. I still heading northwards. Panther versus the Ice 2 here. Ice 2 shoots and misses. Panther turns around, then shoots his gun and doesn't. Comes to the flanking end. Oh, suppressing timing, but the Shrap Panther cord is still standing. Close one there though. Would have been awkward there for VonIvan's Panther. Had been hit with an anti-tank satchel charge. Panther here that half health versus the Ice 2, which is definitely almost at full health. Definitely not at half. A careful shot keeps bouncing off the Ice 2's frontal armour. Panther shoots, bounces again. Penetrating hit from the Kholodny effort. Panther then needs to get out there. Penetrating hit from the Ice 2 on the Panther. Panther misses again. And you've almost taken out here with the Ice 2 heavy tank. Still not pinlock machines being added. Not entirely sure what's going on there with the Ice 2. But there you go. Second field coming up. Could end up taking out the Shrap Panther quarters this time around. Even the T-70's joining in. And goes down to the Panthers, finally scoring something of an armoured kill. In the end, the Shrap Panther quarters lost a bit of blow there to VonIvan, limits his options, at least for now. I mean, he could try and rebuild it, but that's going to be expensive. And it's going to roughly cost him as much to get any tank than out of the rebuilt Shrap Panther quarters. It was roughly to get him, out King Tiger, so in these situations, usually just ends up being a King Tiger you end up going for. At least he got something out of the Shrap Panther quarters first before he lost it. Also having a total write-off. Ice 2 falling back there for repairs. Meanwhile, Ashablois needs to take up to bring up more armour to back up the Ice 2 here. Because, I mean, if VonIvan managed to bring up, say, King Tiger to work with the Panther, the single Ice 2 with double field guns, it's going to be in a pretty sticky spot. But now it's Ashablois' turn to bleed out VonIvan here. We got 197 versus 328. Ice 2 being fixed up there. Could still the pinlock machine gun. Still seems like Ashablois is not particularly impressed by that one. Panther northwards, and there you go, catching the penal to MD-34. Shot bouncing off the Panther's 80mm of sloped armour. quickly gunning down the crews. I mean, thinking about the Panther in the game is this machine gun is actually pretty solid versus infantry, tends to be a bit overlooked. We can caught hand there, guys, trimming up here after the Panther. But backed up the field, and it's not really much of a chance for the Panther to win that one. Propagandacaster might slightly equalise, but even then it's not necessarily a super great engagement. People are pushing forward a little further, souring the engagement there for VonIvan. He's all just making the right decision, then we just to pull back. At this point, I'm almost getting the impression he might be trying to set up here for a Syrian artillery barrage, in which case, of course, he could set it up correctly and catch Ashablois in a bad spot. He could actually do some heavy harm here to Ashablois. We got Sturmpans flanking there, going countering a lot of flamethrowers. That quickly turns unpleasant. Panther landing veterans one, and we got a Stuka as a first out here for VonIvan. Can be quite effective, though it can also be quite ineffective. It really depends on the player, though I'd say VonIvan is probably one of the few players I've seen that can sort of consistently make, you know, pretty solid use out of the Stuka as a first. Plus, if Ashablois insists sticking about him, or, you know, so say bunched up form, it certainly makes the Stuka as a first more likely to be better. Their Panther has to fall back, 10 kills, veterans to 1, Ice 2 rolling ahead. Back here, healing reinforcement. Stuka's the first halfway done. Ashablois still not taking up. But it's adding the Pinamar machine gun now. That's very nice. Let's push for the center point here. We've got no maximum covering, but can't quite see a hit. And there we go. Stuka as was colloquially known, called in there for VonIvan and the first Panzer Division. So we'll have to see, of course, who makes use of that Stuka first here. The Panther doing repairs, noting repair pioneers also. And you can finally see the finally some takeout there for Ashablois. Mechanized armor company rather late. We can soon then follow up with an Issue 5 or T-35 here versus VonIvan's armor. Issue 5 probably the better choice versus the Panther and the potential King Tigers VonIvan could be aiming for. Down the road, over the Stukas at first. Any King Tigers will suddenly be delayed. Oh dear, bit of an awkward pathing movement there by the Eyes 2 exposing 3 onto the Panther. You definitely don't want that to happen, since you do not want to give the Panther any chance of to score some easy hits. That was definitely less unfortunate there for Ashablois. There goes Stukas was running down dead, almost taking out machine gun crew. Ashablois and all the positions are collapsing as a full rout is in action. Panther charging in there. Pursuing the field guns there, no infantry to back up the Panther. Oh, hits a mine as well. And we might see the tail turn here for now pretty rapidly as the field guns are up to him. Now we got the looks of them moving up as well. Actually 3 halfway to 54. Eyes 2 moving back in. A bold move here by Ashablois. Might want to just put it back for repairs, to be honest. And there you go. Seemingly was just moved up there to cover the retreat of the field guns. Not a bad decision there. Though still a bit risky. That also needs to be fixed up, and there you go, self repair, so these can join in. Panther being fixed up, close to virtually 2 there for VonIvan. That is very good. So that, of course, means a bit more durability over there with the addition of the Schutzen. Which is a fun fact, the Schutzen were pretty much one of the primary reasons why the Panther 2 never happened, because they kind of realised, hang on, we don't need to build a big meaner tank. We can just add armoured skirmishes to help deal with the Panther's main issue, which is the weak side armour, you know, with anti-tank rounds at certain range, plus even some gunshots they could go through from anti-tank guns. And apparently you sort of make them realise, we don't need that, we'll just, you know, stick with the Panther 1. So the Panther 2 to the extent was just, you know, scrapped because of that. But apparently there's still bits about it from around, and they still tried to make a new mod turret for the Panther 1 based off the Panther 2 turret. It was known as the, was supposedly known as the Model F Panther, but that seemingly never came about. Arsenal hit there, Panther shoots, misses. Really bunched up. You actually need to be careful about that, particularly since again there's potential of Syrian artillery. Of course, Ashablois like not aware of this because most players don't use fortification nowadays, and most players don't use Syrian artillery. So there's a potential that VonIvan could catch Ashablois off guard. And if Ashablois doesn't realise it's too slow to move about, oh dear, or oh yes, depending on which side you're on. There goes artillery raining down here in the field, and the Max machine gun. Eyes 2 moving ahead, Stukas was raining down as well here. Eyes 2, they're taking heavy damage there from the Panther, almost taken out here, and taken out by Kegnaffer. Veteran 4, very nice. Huge blow here to Ashablois, lost field guns, and the Eyes 2 heavy tank. That could definitely have been handled a bit better there by Ashablois, but Kegnaffer the Chanels end up paying off nicely here for VonIvan. That was definitely not good for them being flanked by the looks. As Ashablois tries to salvage it, but that's clearly not working out. So looks there is close to 34, Panther at 32 with 10 kills. Back here in reinforcement. So yeah, that was a rather awkwardly executed attack there by Ashablois. Was nicely punished there by VonIvan. He might now try to go for the King Tiger. That's Ashablois. Seems like the plan is another IS-2 and hopefully keep that one alive a bit better than the first one. Fulton was also moving ahead. We got the MG-34 doing an account. Backed up here by a field in case of any armoured counterattacks there by VonIvan. South centre is still defended. We got 140 versus 197. Ashablois another one in lead in terms of victory points. Also got 3 animations for some nice air support or just a lot of mines. But Ashablois has been less keen on mining. There you go, nice use of the blend curber. But you know, more mines here would be great, and mines here would be great, and you know, more mines here would also be great for Ashablois. Definitely just spend some all that bloody munitions. But yeah, there we go. Second IS-2 out here for Ashablois and the 7th Mechanized Corps. Panther good to go. Fun fact about the Panther, the turret was actually pretty cramped. It was pretty difficult to act in some cases. You know, load the gun because there's little room to act, you know, switch everything about. And with the Model F, there would have been even less room to act, you know, load the gun easily. So, little fun fact there. As I said, they haven't done actually like getting the new model trade, you know, make the mainstay of the Panther series, but again, never quite happened. There might have been a few models that maybe happened, but all seems like it didn't happen. Pinlock machine there, added on the second IS-2 as well, very good. Orbs on there getting bombarded, but they are surviving in there. You got another Strickers Bruce barrage here from VonIvan. This time going for the machine gun, almost wiping out the entire gun crew. 17 kills, the veterans, 1 up north. Panther IS-2 duel continues. Field guns bringing to assist. Penetrating on the Panther by the SIS-3 field gun. Will Ashablois actually end up using that mechanized armor company, in which case Issue-5 would probably be the immediate best target, and then follow up with T-35s. At least one Issue-5 I think should be there to help deal with the Panther in particular, while the field guns are nice with the Stukas of first out, and someone actually knows how to use the Stukas of first. They are somewhat easy targets. You can see they're the one that got lost up here. It's caught in just the Singer Artillery, but also the Stukas was barrage, causing quite a bit of grief there to Ashablois. 186 versus 125. IS-2 is good to go again. Back in VonIvan's space, we've got troops healing and reinforcement. Well, actually just moving out. VonIvan's a bit short on infantry, could maybe do it more though, so could Ashablois just a tad. And there you go, mine's going off here in the centre. Sadly, hadn't had the mines was out in time for the actually set it off. Bit embarrassing, bit awkward. IS-2 moving for the centre. The north foot seems to be given up here at least by now for now by Ashablois. And the south foot's going in to get liberate the victory point there. Nice play there by VonIvan. Very good move. IS-2 they're heading hard south, and there you go, push back the forces, need to get the looks out there as well. In the centre, another push here. Though without a mortar, any sort of artillery, it becomes a bit more difficult to get the victory point back. Because of course there's the IS-2 and the field guns, but you know, a mortar with some simple smoke screens will be quite helpful there for Ashablois. There you go, they might be able to get here the veteran MG-34. Which suck a bit there for now. There you go, destroyed entirely. No mercy, no survivors. Back here, troops reinforcing. Mechanized armor company remains silent. No one bothering with the anti-tank rifles, but they obviously have secured themselves a nice flamethrower. Little fun fact about that, so flamethrower is actually somewhat disguised to look like a normal rifle. So you know, they were a bit harder to pick out since flamethrower team operators usually singled up pretty fast. In fact, an earlier model of that flamethrower, previous model, actually had a backpack as well. Looked like a more regular backpack, but they kind of just scrapped that one. So, little fun note there. But yeah, in general, flamethrower operators were pretty much hated alongside snipers, and you're caught and, you know, they found out you were a flamethrower operator, they'd usually just call you aside and shoot you. Damn beat any conventions. Full to their Panther hanging down, we got half HV 3 and the Panzerkampfwagen 5 Strafniki advancing heroically here as VonIvan and his merry band of miscreants hammers away. Got the King Tiger out there for Ashablois as well. Some serious heavy armor there versus Ashablois. There you go, has collapsed, sealing the fate of an entire infantry unit. Looks like there's been some penalties where they expire entirely. Shots failing to hit there, the King Tiger there. Maximum crew getting blasted by the 88mm gun there. And we got another Flak Emplacement up here for VonIvan as well in the north. Another 2cm flak. That's true, there are 5 kills. King Tiger with 3. Actually heading northwards there. Swiftly rolling ahead. That Flak Emplacement though is not going to working out too well versus an IS-2. Versus an infantry and light vehicle, sure, but versus a Soviet heavy tank, the Flak Emplacement is 2cm gun there. Falls dramatically short of actually being able to do anything. There we go, utterly destroyed. And go, Panther going for the IS-2 shoots and seemingly penetrates, but the IS-2 returns to the favour with a nice shot. Their Struggers flying down here, causing a bit of damage, a bit of harm, but ultimately Ashablois was able to get out in time. 20 kills in the Struggers of us. Looks here with virtually 421 kills, so approaching the ace level. 105 is 164. And guys, 2 moving in again, backed up by some other units. Troops in the north are taking fire though from all of VonIvan's armor. Other bits. Almost got the Panther there with the IS-2 and the field gun, but the Panther does escape here, closing in there and eventually 3, which would be great there for VonIvan. In the centre we got the King Tiger though, destroying Ashablois infantry. Really needs some tank destroyers there. And there you go, another unit wiped out by the King Tiger, the Königstiger. Should add a pin my machine to that one. So what is Ashablois' plan now? One IS-2 and 1 field gun feel like it's insufficient versus a King Tiger and a Panther that is a veteran. There we go, HV5 tanks on the way there for Ashablois, very good, and very necessary though. Don't feel like there's much way around that one here. In the south machine, the defending the victory point, we got 105 versus 150. Also, Ashablois desperately needs more infantry and more troops. Being down to just 1 isn't quite cutting it. VonIvan's got the minimum 3, so he can sort of get away with it. He's also got another Syrian artillery here lined up, ready to disrupt any attacks by Ashablois once more. Or frustrate enemy defences if it comes down to it. Silence here as Ashablois lining up for the next assault. As VonIvan is, you know, content to hold the points he's got. Engagement gets seizing whatever they can from the ground. And not even they want their anti-tank rifle, it seems. The south here, blend cover down to set up a smoke screen that way, though of course can't move into it himself or he's going to suffer damage, so let me see how that works out. King Tiger there bouncing shots if they should find field. There you go, 1 penetrating hit here. They seem to move also no, and there you go, more penetrating hits, slowly approaching half health. Struggles will find down here on Ashablois support weapons and tank destroyer. King Tiger half health units take down to a kid opening up his on the HV5. Very close to the ace level. In the south, after catching the opposite on a pretty bad spot, gaining veterans 1, and of course now getting suppressed at the end of the 4 forcing retreat. In the north, there's a bit of movement here as well, as VonIvan is advancing in the Panther and the Lux, aiming a single machine gun crew to somehow hold off against all of that, and it's obviously not particularly working out for the Maxim crew.
We are losing supplies to the enemy.
Need to fix up the HV5. The IS-2 is looking reasonably decent there. More HV5s could be an idea. The IS-T for the 5 to deal with infantry and still store versus armor could be an idea, but another HV5 would not be a bad idea here for Ashablois. As for VonIvan, we got another single artillery this time around the center. Panther Wing Force taking advantage of the signature that way, just push ahead here. Sneaky play. Panther there very, very, very close to eventually 3. Field gun there by Rush getting caught here. He's using the Panther essentially as bait, I think, to keep Ashablois around longer in the zone of artillery there, of seeing artillery, and there you go, field gun crew wiped out, denying the remaining anti-tank gun that Ashablois had left. Nicely done there by VonIvan. Strong play there. Tons of artillery raining down, but the penal troopers managed to survive that one. Panther being fixed up, now they're trying to lay the VonIvan, like doing another strap punch quarters. King Tiger there tagging into the penal troopers with violent glee, and the South the IS-2 sort of there trying to look busy, but without necessarily engaging German armor. There goes shot bounce off the IS-2's armor from the King Tiger. Great hit here on the King Tiger by the IS-2. Machine guns being held forward here by Ashablois. It's finally repairs. We've got to get true shell for Ashablois. I mean, artillery is not a bad idea, but I feel like, you know, something to do with the Panther and the King Tiger is probably a bit more of a pressing issue here for Ashablois. And there goes Stukas of Foots again, 22 kills. These barrage actions have been quite a bit today, almost taking an entire maximum crew. And then the King Tiger finishes off the survivor. Hooray, I am free, the others were bastards, but I am oh shit. And then, well, you know, he got his final Succobliat as he was annihilated by the King Tiger. King Tiger that's very close to Veteran 1. Panthers at Veteran 3, which means you're going to hit Veteran 4, Veteran 5, possibly the ace level. Another Flak Emplacement from VonIvan. He's a true believer in the power of Flak. Which for those ones what it stands for means Flugzeug Abwehrkanone or Flieger Abwehrkanone. Little fun fact there. Flak Emplacement there opening up at the troops then close range, also opening up in the Russian aircraft as Ashablois calls in the IL-2 Sturmovix. Directly did that by the IS-2 on it. Panther began to draw fire. King Tiger in as well here. Flak Emplacement just hammers away there. Panther there gaining Veteran 4 was almost taken out as well. Decides to pull back there with the King Tiger advancing ahead. He needs to be careful still. The more tank destroyers. Whereas you get to another one. King Tiger advances here. Directly hit by the IS-2 gaining Veteran 2. HD5 also Veteran 2 gains another hit on the King Tiger. Combat blitz there. Last also move fast and shoot fast. There go another pension hit. Another one here. Almost got the King Tiger. Looks like it's going to escape here. We got the Flak Emplacement down here for VonIvan again in the sub, pushing for the victory point there. We've got 105. This is 96. IS-2 in dire need repairs. HD5 the ultimate dire need repairs, and Ashablois in dire need of getting out more forces on the field because right now VonIvan's we've got a large number of troops there. Plus, I mean, he's got the King Tiger and the Panther. Ashablois here going for the T-45. Useful as an infantry, can also, you know, soak up fire from the enemy armor. So, I mean, it's not a bad choice, but still needs more infantry. Fixing up the Panther here, Veteran 4, means it's not far off from Veteran 5 in the ace level. HD5 being fixed up, IS-2 being fixed up.
Pioneers ready for assignment. You are showing weakness. We are down to 75 points.
More Sturm Pioneer for VonIvan, interesting choice here at this lane to the game.
T-34 ready for combat.
Might be for more minesweepers, there might be something else going on there in VonIvan's head we don't know about. And then go T-35 arriving here for Ashablois. In the south we got the Penal, so there's the opposite side, Veteran 4 by the way, halfway to ace level, and Veteran 5, very nice. Struggles as far as again here, and doesn't do anything this time around. Would have been close. T-34-85 rolling out there for Ashablois and the 7th Mechanized Corps here, as VonIvan and the 1st Panzer Division continues to hold the line. Another push here for the centre, project with the T-35 spearhead the efforts, and you know, that's probably more of the expendable of the three elements, and there you go, straight ahead here. Panther taking heavy damage here from the HD5 and the IS-2, Kedma exposed. There we go, focusing on Kedma wiping out. A bit of blow there to VonIvan since that was quite a veteran Kedma for crew. HD5, T-35 moves ahead. Got the King Tiger, Panther moving in here. King Tiger not for repair. T-forced to rush in there. Panther almost taken out. Ace level HD5. That's really bad news for VonIvan by the way, since that means high rate of fire, high penetration, meaning it has a good chance to invest the King Tiger, which is definitely not something VonIvan wants to be happening. Charging on the Sturm Pioneers with the situation looking a bit dire here. Could feel like try and pursue here with the HT5 tanks, try and close here, maybe take out some of VonIvan's armor. I mean, if you get rid of if Ashablois can get rid of either the Panther or the King Tiger, there might be a good chance. If decides not to pursue, it's not to push the envelope here. And we got another maximum out for Ashablois, still in more infantry. We got 105 versus 19 now, getting a bit close here. Getting a bit close. T-34-85 moving ahead slightly. Orbiting going for the point there, folks, back on the map. Orbiting now taking a minor casualty. We got Blem cover grenade off, very nice. Though still ends up there using attack round there and takes out a fat chunk of the Orbiting. Still the deal was nice there by VonIvan. Stukas of Fuss unleashes hell there. At least attempts to once more. Got 29 kills, 22. House collapses under the sheer high explosive weight of the rockets. Panther there, good to go. King Tiger fixed up. A lot of Pioneers still hard at work. Some of them just welding the other guys, it seems. They're just trying to look busy. IS-2 halfway to 18 feet, T-34 from 6 1 against Ashablois. I think, how they should fight. An issue 6 would probably be a better choice. Still more anti-tank firepower with their range here versus VonIvan's King Tiger and Panther. Ace looks there about as well. They're 28 kills. And we got Pack 43. Sneaky. Well, not really sneaky once it opens up, but I don't think Ashablois was expecting that. But so the way that Ashablois was defending here, it makes a lot of sense. It's going to make it much more difficult for Ashablois to fire around here since it does cover a fat chunk there. Plus, I mean, it's going to catch Ashablois completely off guard. I mean, just notice the way that Ashablois, when we got the HT5 tank destroyer, I mean, there is absolutely no clue here that it's going to be getting hit by a Pack 43 in a few moments. And there we go, HT5 yourself, it's a huge series of critical hits there. Panther charging in there, Combat Blitz probably active, super close to the ace level. King moving in, IS-2 there, half health already. T-34 was the almost ace Panther, almost got the IS-2 here. Seconds away, Panther and Force, there you go, we got eventually 5 shot bounces off the Panther's armor, anti-tank top charge on the King Tiger, heavy damage on it. Panther almost down, shot fired and bounced. Trying to turn around the armor to kick against the T-34 to decrease the chance of penetrating hit there, but could get caught here, could get caught. Penetrating hit on the Panther, almost down. But there you go, Pack 43, as Ashablois forgets about it. Does heavy damage to the T-34, there you go. And I think the Pack 43 there might have taken out the IS-2, maybe not, or the King Tiger did, or the Panther did. Either way, it's gone, the Panther's barely upperable. The only thing that's keeping that going is pure faith in Kruppstil and Faserland. T-Focus is run around here, but a bit late to the party. Panther lands a nice hit. Sturm Pioneers being almost wiped out. Here we go. King Tiger finishes off. Ashablois remaining tank. And with this, Ashablois is in a terrible state of having lost most, if not all, of the tanks. He's now down to just a few maxims and engineers. While for now, it still has a lot of infantry left. And of course, very important, he has a lot of tanks left, including, of course, the Ace Panther and the King Tiger, plus of course the Ace Lux and the Stukas Fuss, and of course the Pack 43 remains as well, of course, as a big threat. So, yeah, that was a brutal engagement and one that did not favour Ashablois remotely. Certainly highlights what a surprise Pack 43 can do, because again, no one expected to suddenly put up a Pack 43 then like almost an hour into the match, but VonIvan did it and it turned out to be super effective. Don't worry, Dimitri, what's the worst they can do? They get a Pack 43 and shoot us to death? It's never gonna happen. Let me tell you, oh shit, they got the tank! They did get it. I'm gonna look like an idiot if I survive. Max on the south is trying to stall VonIvan's infantry advance, but with the power of the blend curve, at least he can cover up one infantry squad. Of course, another Maxim, which slightly ruins that flashiness. Ashablois here is just getting a lot of field guns. Their apparently has forgotten about the Stukas of Fuss. Is betting on it. There you go, Stukas of Fuss unleashing hell. Panther good to go. King Tiger being prepared up as well. Maxim there almost taken out. In fact, both Maxims almost taken out, but both survived the encounter here with VonIvan and Stuck as a first. Ace Panther in there to finish off the job. Going down with machine guns. This one's the other one, and that Ashablois' last hopes there seem to be crumbling away. They managed to bring down VonIvan there to 55 victory points. Figuring that gets a penetrant hitting on the Ace Panther crew. Second field gun running up, needs to get the Panther out of that one. Another T-Fed falls from 6 on the way there for Ashablois. There we go, almost got the Panther, and now it's time for the King Tiger. Achtung Panzer. Great hit in the field gun, almost wiping out the crew there. 22 kills, very close eventually to as well. There we go, crew annihilated. Destroying the field gun first. We're returning the attention to the second SIS-3 field gun. There we go, kills one gun, and there you go, Stuckers was firing again. Well, that would say, oh, the Max might get caught up in it as well, and there we go. Almost got the field gun there, but not quite. Maximum didn't take too well out, and there you go, Luke swinging in with that. There's the remaining field gun. Ashablois got 11 points left. All Maxims and single engineers got plus the T-34 on 6, and VonIvan just really has a massive force here. Maxim destroyed. T-34 on 6 are rushing in. But it's not going to help grab points immediately. It's going to really struggle against the King Tiger. Combat Blitz here. T-34 on 6 kaput. And there you go, GG, game over. A victory for the German army. A brutal fight right here on Kholodny Ferma, with a lot of back and forth action. Both players at times were close to winning, but in the end the other one prevailed for at least for longer. But in the end though, VonIvan did win. I think Ashablois could have done with some mortars, a bit of artillery there. That's only one thing I think that helped VonIvan out there in the longer run, but also just a bit better maneuverability in that sense, and also just better infantry, force, since at the longer run Ashablois kept losing infantry, being replaced compared to VonIvan always made sure to have a certain degree of infantry there, so that's why it also played a big role. So there you go, hope you enjoyed this match, hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it, tell a friend, tell a family, but don't tell your enemies. This is Imperial Lincoln, cheers, thank you for watching, you're all a wonderful audience, hope to see you all tomorrow again for a nice episode. Bye.